Hello, I'm Darren. I work in the EDC and I'm the Digital Learning Support Senior Manager. Today I'm going to share 3 tips on how to design and deliver successful blended learning. And by blended learning I'm referring to the fusion of face-to-face and online teaching and learning, in which the online activities can refer to synchronous or asynchronous learning. And the goal of blended learning is to maximize student engagement and maximize student learning in and out of the classroom. On to my 3 tips for successful blended learning. Tip number 1, put the emphasis on learning rather than teaching. If your class is mainly a one-way transmission of information with you doing all the work and all the talking, can you be sure that your students are actually learning? If they're passively taking notes, is this the best way to spend valuable class time and your own energy? Everybody loves to listen to a good lecture, myself included, and some teachers really are engaging and their voice and explanation can make a subject come to life in a way that reading an article never could. I totally agree. But if it's all one-way transmission, maybe the students are not really learning or even retaining information. As a rule, after some presentation of a concept or information, give the students a task which helps them to process it. Here are 3 activities that might help. 1-minute paper. Ask students to write a short summary of the theme being presented on their laptops or phones and submit it to a short text answer on uReply, Blackboard or other similar tools. 2nd, polling students can help as a comprehension check, using previously mentioned tools or apps such as Mentimeter or Socrative. And 3rd, research on MOOCs has shown that short activities between learning chunks can aid retention, so why not set a few questions for students to work on individually after each input session, before they check and submit their answers. All of these activities work with face-to-face and online classes. Simply share a QR code or a URL students can use to access an activity, a document, and so on. And give some thought on whether it's likely that students will access the activity by phone, computer, or whether they can choose what device to use. Tip number 2, be activity focused. Make the students do the work. In the previous tip, we focused on short activities, so here let's think about longer tasks that can engage the students in higher order activities. Think, Pair, Share is a popular activity in face-to-face classes in which small groups discuss a question and then individual students share with the whole class. Online versions could be complex using tools like Miro or more low-key asking students to type the answer in a chat box or a shared document. If your subject involves a level of practice, performance or production, consider doing this in class and have the knowledge input part of the class done at home beforehand, via readings or videos. This is called a flipped classroom approach and done well, and possibly with some help in the classroom stage from students who can take turns to provide this TA role, can be a great use of class time. A problem-based learning approach has students being put into groups to research and share ideas to solve a task set by the teacher. Almost inevitably in class, technology will be used to research and prepare answers, such as via slides or shared documents. But please note that while student presentations can be done well, if they are too long, they risk becoming a student lecture rather than a teacher lecture, with most of the class just listening. I'll share one way to avoid this in my final tip, which is tip number 3. Keep the conversation going inside and outside the classroom. For the problem-based learning I mentioned, one way to get student groups to share their results with each other is by asking one person from each group to post findings on a discussion forum at the end of the class. And then open up the discussion forum for response and discussion in the days between classes. Discussions like this can start in class and continue during the week and can act as a bridge between classwork and homework. For another idea, group work can occur out of class, either online using technology or face-to-face with the results being shared online. Try and balance individual study with collaborative approaches and synchronous group work with asynchronous group work. Finally, if you share a social media platform with students, post a question or an image or video during the week and get the students to respond with text or multimedia. That's all, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out EDC's e-learning website.